What's up, guys? Edrone here, and just one more programming video till I can get these props put on and do this maiden flight. Stay tuned. In this video, we're going to be setting up our switches. So, in order to set up switches, you're going to have to set them up in your whatever transmitter you have. And then, once you have them set up in the transmitter, then you can go ahead and set them up on the computer in Betaflight and program them to the race drone or whatever drone you're doing. So you can have things like arming switch, and you can change your flight modes between acro, angle, horizon, and you can also set up your beeper and your turtle mode and all that kind of fun stuff. And I promise, this is the last programming video until the maiden flight, which we're going to do hopefully tomorrow, weather depending. You see, I got my props right here. I am so excited to get these props put on. These are the Dow Cyclone 5046C in the translucent blue. And man, do they look mean. I can't wait to see how these perform on these 2207 Sam Gook motors. I really feel like this thing should be a screamer. Taking a look at the Taranis QX7, I'll go ahead and show you how to set up your switches in your radio. It's pretty simple, not too bad. You're going to hit your menu button here, push it once. You're going to page over, come all the way over, till you get to mixer. This is actually what you need to set up your modes. So mine's already set up. So what you're going to do is you're going to scroll down with this little wheel, and let's come to channel 5. You're going to push in the button and hold it, and you're going to select edit. Now you can give it a name if you'd like, and just kind of push the wheel and toggle to make your name. This is where you want to be, source. So if you push this button in, you can scroll over with the wheel, or actually just flip the switch.
0 volts.
Just flip the switch that you would like for that to be that function. So the SF switch is on the top of the Taranis.
0 volts.
That is the switch that I would like to be my arm switch. It's just a 2-position switch. Once you've got the switch you want on source, push the toggle wheel again to stop the flashing. Now, you have your weight. You can see mine is right at 100. Offsets at 0. And everything else you pretty much want to leave the same. You can add warnings, stuff like that. It gets really complex, but just to get the switch set up, that's all you need to do in the mixer. So let's go back out. Same thing if you want to do your modes. Same exact thing that we did with the arming switch. You just do that for your mode switch on channel 6. Scroll down if you want to add a buzzer. And then look, I even added turtle mode right there on channel 8. So once you do that, your transmitter is now set up with your switches. And that's pretty much all you need to do to set up switches in your Taranis QX7. For the next part, to set up your switches in Betaflight, you're going to need a couple things. You're going to need your transmitter with your switches set up like we just did. You're going to need your drone. You're going to need your PC, your computer, whatever you use to get on the Betaflight. And you're going to need your USB data cable. And you're going to need a battery if your USB does not power your receiver. In my particular case, the USB does not power my receiver. So I'm going to need to have my LiPo handy so I can plug this in and get the receiver powered up so we can go ahead and get our switches set up in Betaflight. Go ahead and pull up Betaflight on your PC and plug in your micro USB to your flight controller. Power up your transmitter. And plug in our LiPo battery power. And now that you're in Betaflight, you're going to come down to the receiver tab just to double check and make sure you have movement and that the right channels are moving the correct bars. And everything looks like it's good. So now, come down to the modes tab. This is where it gets fun. So right here, see where it says add range? Click on add range. Now you see where it says auto? If we flip the switch that we want for our arming switch, which is this switch right here.
Motors armed. 15.2 volts.
You can see aux 1 was automatically detected in Betaflight, so that makes it easy. Now, when we hit the switch,
motors armed. 15.2 volts.
The tick moved over, but the yellow bar is not over top of that tick. So we're going to slide this over so that when we push the switch this direction, the yellow tick is underneath of the yellow bar, which activates the arming switch. So this switch is already done. Next, we're going to go to angle mode. We're going to click add range. We're going to hear where it says auto. All we're going to do is flip the switch we want for angle mode.
Angle mode.
Which is aux 2. Already done. Now, all we have to do is slide this bar over once again so that when this switch is in the upward position, it is in angle mode. That's what I want. Middle position, I want to be in horizon mode, which we'll set up next. So we go to the next switch, add range. We're going to click the switch again. It recognizes it as auxiliary 2. So now you can see the tick slide over and is now underneath the yellow bar in the horizon category. So we're done there. And then our last switch, which is acro.
Acro.
You can see both of the yellow ticks in angle and horizon moved to where there is no yellow bars on top of those ticks, which means there is no angle or horizon. So this is an acro mode. We're almost done. We just have to set up our beeper and this momentary switch on top is what I want, which is our auxiliary 3 to be my beeper. So all we have to do is slide this over, and now when we hit the switch, the beeper will go off. And the last one we're going to do is our turtle mode. Flip over after crash. We're going to add range, same thing. This is the switch
Oops.
I want to be for my turtle mode.
Oops.
And the yellow bar is already set up where it needs to be.
Oops.
So what I'm going to do is slide this all the way over.
Oops.
Just like that.
Oops. Oops.
There we go. Now we have my turtle mode set up on a 3-position switch. So if I turn the switch in the middle,
Oops.
it's in turtle mode. And if I turn it all the way down,
Oops.
it's still in turtle mode. So this has to be turned all the way up to be in regular mode. Now, we're all done setting up our switches. We now need to click the save button. And look right up here where it says saved. That's how you know it's all set up and it's ready to go. Now we can test this out real quick. All we have to do is go to the motors tab. With your props off, obviously. Click I understand the risks. And let's go ahead and put this in acro mode, which it is. And let's give it a try. So
15.1 volts.
So I flip the switch.
Motors armed. 15.1 volts.
And we now have our motors are spinning. Awesome. So the switch is working. Now, quick little tip. Some of you may not know this, and I'm hoping that this will help a lot of people. So let's go back to angle mode.
Angle mode.
Watch what happens when we arm the quad.
Motors armed. 15.1 volts.
All right, you see the motors? They're spinning in different speeds, right? Watch when I raise the throttle on the transmitter. You see how they're kind of spinning out of control? Different RPMs. You see that? That is completely normal. If your quad does this with the props off, there's nothing wrong with your quad. So basically what's happening is the quad is in angle mode. So when you raise the throttle, there's no propellers. The vibrations from the motors, okay, is confusing the flight controller because the flight controller is trying to keep this quad completely level. And because the props are not on it and it's getting vibrations, that is why you're getting the motors are spinning at different RPMs. So if you ever do this, there's nothing wrong with your quad. A lot of times people will have it in angle mode. They'll arm the motors for the first time. They'll give it a little bit of increase in the throttle, and all of a sudden it'll just start raising the throttle on its own, or one motor will spin faster than the other. This is completely normal, okay? When you put the propellers on and go to take off, this quad will take off correctly as long as you have the props on correctly. There's nothing wrong with your quad if it does this. So just want to give you that quick little tip so you know if this happens to you, the motors just start spinning up, a little bit higher on their own without the props being on. This is a normal occurrence. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Man, am I excited. We are done with programming. I'm ready to throw these props on, and tomorrow we're going to do the maiden flight of this bad boy. We're going to take it out and see just how the budget basher race drone handles. We're going to fly it around the yard. We might do a little bit of freestyle flying, but mostly it's going to be low to the ground, flying, fast in and out of trees, stuff like that. Hopefully I don't crash it or lose it. My buzzer is not in yet, but I feel confident as long as I keep it in close proximity to me, and I don't fly anywhere, unknown territory or near the fields. Should be okay. So we're going to try to get that done tomorrow, weather depending. But check out my programming playlist. I'll put it at the end of this video. So if you want to learn more about programming your drones after you built them, or even if you have a bind and fly, some of my videos may be able to help you out. Till next time, guys, edrone out.